welcome back to another pop-up chat. If this is the first time you're tuning in, these are just casual, informal meet and greets that I've been doing with just people I've wanted to get to know better that I've gotten to know just through Twitter, but I've wanted to meet virtually, face to face, just to chat so we can all meet these special guests from the world of marketing Twitter. So I was having these one-on-one Zooms with people previously, and I thought, why not just broadcast these? Because all of
Yeah.
these people are so interesting. So why not have an audience? So today's guest is Codi. Welcome, Codi.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, we're gonna have some fun. Like I said, there's no agenda, so we're gonna see. Maybe we'll have some questions from the chat. I know you are pretty adored on Twitter, so I'm sure we'll have some.
Oh, geez. Thank you.
Yeah. So, oh, let's see. We've got some hellos.
Oh, hey. I know.
All right. Well, first, I want to talk about, I think, what was the first piece of content I ever saw that you shared that inspired me to follow you was your post about Missy Elliott and what we
Yes.
can learn from her. And I love that because that's what I like to do is find people and moments in pop culture and try to pull out some, I guess, educational takeaways or helpful takeaways. So tell me, how did that come about?
Well, thank you for reading that. Honestly, so this is a weird story, but I was chilling in my home late at night. It was like 11 o'clock. And I had this urge to write. And granted, I am not a writer. I need to work on it. But I felt compelled to write something. And so I just opened Google Docs and I'm like, you know what? I feel like inspired to write about kind of like pop culture and how I can relate it to marketing and how we can just bring the two things that I love into one piece.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought instantly of Missy Elliott, like just popped into my head. And so I wrote the piece that night and I shared it with a friend of mine and she's like, oh my gosh, I love it. And so I posted it like the next day and then I didn't tag Missy in the post, but just due to her following. So it kind of got picked up and people were retweeting it and then Missy Elliott saw it and shared it on her channel.
I didn't know that part.
Yeah, she did. Yep. And I was like, what the heck? She's like, this is great. And so I was like freaking out. And I don't know, I was just inspired. And I think kind of what you do, you talk about pop culture and relating it to marketing. And there's just so many different industries we can learn from and apply to our jobs. And so I kind of felt like, learning from Missy Elliott and her style and the way she just does things, I kind of not mimic it, but try to take from what she's doing and apply it to what I do in my job, my daily life. So
that's
so how
cool.
that came about. Yeah.
I had no idea that she saw it. That's unreal.
She did.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
So that's the best too, when you have those just moments of inspiration where you just want to write and you have to get to the computer and get everything down. For me, those are few and far between. It has happened maybe once or twice, but
yeah. And I don't write often. I really like every now and then if I feel like I want to write something, I do, but I don't write that much. So
should you wrote that one piece and it's getting noticed. So think about.
Yeah. But I'm like, I think the pop culture thing is definitely Brienne's thing.
Oh no, nonsense. There's so many different facets of pop culture too, and maybe that means we just need to collaborate. Maybe do a podcast.
That would be cool.
And just keep this going. I love it.
I'm digging it. And you know me, I love what you do. I love the pop culture thing. I love 90s music. I love it all. And so yeah, super dope.
Well, definitely keep doing it. I don't own it by any means. And there's just so many different, I'm kind of in like the boy band land. I'm sure maybe you have, if you like Missy Elliott, maybe there's other interests there that you can lean into that I would never think to write about, but you would be the perfect person for it. But yeah, Joe Chuck says we need more crossovers. So
yeah, I dig it.
We'll make it happen. Hi, Jesse.
Hello.
Awesome. So, okay, so you said you don't write much, but you want to. What else do you do? First of all, actually, no, my first question is,
Mhm.
where do you live? Because I know on Twitter it says you live in America's finest city. I don't know if that's a nickname for a city that I'm
It
not.
is.
Oh, okay.
Yep, it's actually San Diego. San
Oh,
Diego is
yeah.
considered America's finest city,
Ah,
and which is true. I mean, we get sun almost every day,
mhm.
so we have the
Oh my
beaches. So yeah,
yeah.
it's really nice.
Yeah, and I live in Florida, and even when I've gone to San Diego, I've been like, "It's just so much better here." It's sunny, but it's not blistering, it's just
Yeah,
gorgeous. Yeah,
yeah.
that's the one city I've been to where I'm like, I think I could move."
Oh yes,
So
it's
lovely.
beautiful. It's a little
Yeah.
expensive, but it's definitely worth it.
Did you
Um,
grow up there or
yeah, yeah. I've been here my entire life. I was born in
Mhm,
Canada, but we
mhm,
moved here when I was like 2 or 3, and
mhm.
lived here ever since, and
Yeah.
don't really plan on moving. Maybe Texas.
No.
Texas sounds fun.
Mhm.
So I don't
I
know.
don't know, why leave? San Diego is
Right?
just
Yeah.
it's just way up there. Oh, well, there you go. I learned something. I didn't know that it was nicknamed that, but I'm
Yeah.
not surprised. Um, awesome. Well, okay, what else do I wanna know about you? I know you have a day job, but it seems like you also have your
Yes.
own marketing consultancy, so I guess tell me and everyone more about what you do for work, and I'll see how
Yeah. Yeah, so full time, I'm actually in higher ed.
Mhm,
I work at a local university here, and I run our admission channels, UC San Diego.
mhm,
And before that, I was in the healthcare space, but now I'm back in higher ed. And so I do that as full time. And then I also, like you mentioned, do consulting on the side
mhm.
with freelancing, social media consulting, social media audits. It's kind of something I've been wanting to do, and I've eventually just like buckled down. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it. Just gonna kind of wing it. I'm low key like winging it right now. I'm just
Yeah,
winging it and just taking
we
on
all
what I
are.
can, right? And I know I had this conversation with another friend of mine. I'm like, I think we're just all winging it at this point.
Mhm,
So I do that on the side, and yeah, I love social media, and I wanted to take it out, instead of work full time stuff, just do it for
mhm,
fun too, and also get
mhm.
paid for it. So
Yeah.
yeah, so that's what I do.
Nice. Well, Joe Chuck says, "Trust in your ability to figure it out." That's, like I
Yeah.
said, what we're all doing. There's so many. So, I guess how long have you been doing the consulting thing? What types of challenges have you faced or have you overcome, and how are you overcoming them? Or are you still kinda just getting into it?
Yeah, that's a good question. Really, I'm trying to figure out my own processes
Mhm.
and how do I onboard people, and what
Mm,
kind of conversations are we having in the beginning? So I'm covering my what, and
mhm.
I don't get screwed over, and just
Yeah,
figuring out my flow of work, because it's so much different than when you're working full time somewhere. You kind of have your flow, and you know what you're
right.
doing with. But I feel like with freelancing on the side and stuff, it's all just like figuring it out on your own, and there's
Mhm.
no set process. So just figuring that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I've tried to connect with other freelancers and see what they're doing. Maybe I can incorporate some of their style and change it up for myself. But
Mhm.
um, yeah, that's kind of what I'm dealing with at the moment.
Yeah, I went through something similar when I first started freelancing. I was just like, I'm the marketing girl. Anything related to marketing, like toss it my way. I can help you. I can do anything and everything. And that was just such a mistake because one,
Mhm.
my clients like just started considering me a full extension of their team. So I was on like every email, invited to every meeting, and like I was really in the fold with things.
Yeah.
But also, I was being asked to do things once again, things that I hated, things that I quite honestly weren't the best at, like, I don't know, they would have me do things with, like, reading reports and, I don't know, SEO,
Oh,
things that, like, aren't my forte, so I'm like, "You know what? I'm in control here.
right.
I am at a position now where I don't have a boss that's telling me, 'You have to do this, figure it out,'
Mhm.
and it's gonna benefit both parties, me and the client, if I drill this down and pinpoint, no, this is exactly what I'm best at. This is how I can best help you. And this is only what I do.
Right?
And it
That's so
helps.
important.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it,
yeah, like figuring out a niche, like I'm like,
Mhm,
okay, I can't do everything in social media. So I
mhm,
try to limit myself, and not limit myself, but really just figure out my own niche. And
mhm,
for that, I feel like I excel in like the consulting and like the
Mhm.
auditing and a management here and there. But
Mhm.
yeah, so really that's a good point. So
Yeah.
do you also freelance too? Are you, because I know you're a teacher, a professor, and
Yeah.
you're doing a lot.
I actually have scaled back on the freelancing, but it's funny enough that 2 o'clock
Yeah.
call that I had was actually with an old client that just went through this acquisition and is expanding, and they want to bring me back. But I've been scaling it back
Mhm.
mainly because I'm trying to grow the podcast into something. I'm trying to, I've got other ideas. Maybe I end up doing an online course, although that's so cliche. I don't know, but I found that while I enjoy the one-on-one consulting, it's just kind of
Mhm.
limiting. Like, is there something I could do while I have this teaching as my safety net? If I
Yeah.
keep building these other avenues and building my credibility in other ways, maybe there's something else I could do that's not so one-on-one and not
Mhm.
trading hours for dollars all the time.
No, I
Um,
hear you.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's been my my evolution and inner battle over this past year, really. And just oh, Michelle says do the course. I feel like it's like courses are so slimy now, are they?
But
I
that's where you
don't know.
come in. You really spruce it up, make it fun. Like I would take
Yeah.
the course,
Well,
right?
thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you. I mean, we'll throw some Missy Elliott references in there. Yeah, I know.
Definitely.
Joe Chuck has a vision for Pop Chat and all these things that are bigger than I can even imagine, which is why I'm so glad to have him in my corner. He's just everyone's
Yes.
best cheerleader. Um,
He's cool.
there are courses about how to make courses.
Oh
Yes,
my gosh.
Joe, I've
No.
purchased one
Goodness. That's
by
great.
Melissa Griffin, who I happen to love. But yeah, she does that, and I haven't done it successfully, but it's my own fault. I am a bad student, I guess, but it's on my radar.
That's
So
hilarious.
so we'll see. We'll see. Um, okay, so I guess, what are your dream clients? Are you looking to stay in higher ed? Are you
Oh man.
open to anything? Maybe trying new things, figuring out what you like best? What are you thinking?
Honestly, I really can't even answer that. I like I work full time with higher ed, and I actually like the higher ed space because
Yeah.
it's nice connecting with college students again, and it's my alma mater, um,
Oh, that's
so
fun.
I have like a affinity for it.
Yeah.
But I don't have like a ideal client. I just somebody that aligns, I guess, with my kind of like not necessarily my values, but we just kind
Mhm.
of gel, and
Mhm.
I really don't discriminate in industry. I am willing to help
Mhm.
anybody, and I think that's why I really like the consulting thing, because it's more of helping people and smaller business really like understand like what they, you know, are missing with social media and how to
Mhm.
bring that out in their work and that they can do it on their own. And so I had one lady, her company was called Footy Tree. Okay, so you
Okay.
know those socks that people wear that are like ankle socks or
Yeah,
whatever those are called?
like the scrunchy socks, maybe?
Yeah, like they don't go past your ankle. They're just like the
Yeah.
ones that you wear with certain types of shoes. So
Oh, yes,
I
yes,
worked
yes.
with her, yeah, to develop some
Mhm.
social media strategy, and it was more just like helping her realize like you can do this, and that's what I like
Yeah.
about it. Anywhere I can
Mm,
just help people realize that it's not as hard and difficult as it seems, like you can do it.
yes.
That's my,
Yeah.
so I don't have
I
an ideal
feel
plan. I really don't.
I feel like small businesses especially need that reminder. There's this author
Yeah,
that I love to follow. Her name is Sally Hogshead, and she always says, like, you don't need to be the biggest brand, you don't need to have the biggest budget, as long as you can just do something different and find a way to be
yeah,
creative and do something unlike what everyone else is doing. People are going to talk about you. You don't have to like be the biggest and put so much, money behind everything you do. You could be small
yeah,
and still
exactly,
remarkable.
exactly.
Let's see. Jesse has a question. Can I ask if either of you ever feel challenged by others or feel a bit of imposter syndrome with what you do? How do you
Mm.
remind yourself that you are good at what you do? Ooh, I think I know my answer.
You want to go
Unless you
first?
want to go first. So Jesse, I think this for me, this is what really helped me when I said I narrowed down what my services were at a freelancer. As a freelancer, I I stopped pretending that I was amazing at anything and everything to do with marketing. I really reflected and I knew what I enjoyed doing most. And usually if I enjoy it, that means I think it's my strength out of anything to do with marketing versus just
Yeah.
trying to do stuff I don't like because I'm probably not great at it either. So that's what helped me is I was the one who was able to choose what I offer and based on my own opinions of myself. So um that's what I do is I remind myself that I'm good at what I do. Like you said here, I guess by just understanding what I'm not good at and being okay with no, these maybe 4 things are my strength versus all 20 things under the sun of marketing. So if you can drill down and just specify what you do best, you start to become okay with things that you know you're not the perfect person for. If that makes sense.
100% agree. I'm in accordance with that too. Like I it's especially, marketing Twitter, there's so many great minds and you do feel like at times, oh, like I'm not at that level and it's okay. Like what you're saying, Brienne, I remind myself that I know what I'm good at. And I remind myself of, I was hired, for example, to do what I'm good at. And that's
Right.
what I have to consistently remind myself of is that I know what I'm doing. I don't need to really be comparing to what somebody's doing next door because they
Mhm.
have their talents with specific features or whatever, but I know what I can do. And my saying that I like to say is like, no one is me and that is my power. And I think
Yeah.
you commented on my tweet about that. And
Yeah.
so that's the biggest thing for me is like, no one is Cody. Like, of course
Mhm.
we all have our backgrounds in social media and we can all do amazing things, but ultimately no one is you, no one is me, and we all have our own methods of doing things. And that's just how I remind myself of I know what I'm doing and I know what I'm capable of.
Mhm.
So
So
that's
well said. Yeah,
yeah.
I think I did reply to that, probably with a quote from Big Magic that I
Yeah,
always
yeah.
think of. Yeah. What does she say? She says, "It may have been done before, but it hasn't been
Mhm.
done by you."
I
So
love that.
even if you're in I apply it a lot to personal branding. Like if you're in a crowded category or you feel
Mhm.
like, you have the same experience as someone else, or maybe they're more experienced, like your own flair and approach to things makes it different and special in itself. So, yeah, great question.
Totally. Yeah, I
Any
like
other?
that.
Yeah, that's Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert, if anyone wants to read it. That book, gosh, that book really changed my life.
I'm gonna look into that. I have so
Yeah,
many books right now, it's not even funny. I
yeah.
need to read the ones I buy.
Right? I'm in that boat too. Yeah, it's called Big Magic, and then the subtitle is Creative Living Beyond Fear. So it's basically just about forget
Nice.
what everyone else says,
Yeah.
forget your imposter syndrome, forget your own fears, just create and put your stuff out there.
Heck
Um,
yeah.
yeah.
I'm all
So,
for it.
do you have, I guess while we're on the subject of books, do you have any that have been particularly influential in your life or career, or what are you reading right now?
I'm
Mhm.
reading so I actually have this book called Rework.
Mhm.
I forgot the authors, but it's a really short book and it's just kind of about business and just how to get going and how to start things, how to just keep going, how to strategy. It's a really easy read, but it's kind of like a no BS type of book. Like they're just straight to the point about
Yeah.
strategy and business and marketing and things like that. So I'm reading that right now. And then I recently purchased a book called Influence, which I think a lot of people have read before. I again don't know the author. It's over there on my table, but it's like a psychology, like social psychology book. And so I wanted to dabble in that next because, being a marketer, it's psychology. So you got
Yeah.
to understand people in order to do good at marketing. So
Mhm.
that's my next read.
I feel like I've seen that book, like, I could picture it, but I
You
haven't read it.
probably have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Michelle said she read Big Magic. Did you read it on audio, Michelle, or did you read the actual book? Because on audio, I don't know why, it was one of the first audiobooks I've ever read, and to have this woman, it's the same woman who wrote Eat, Pray, Love, which I actually have never read, but she's
Oh, okay.
yeah, Elizabeth Gilbert. Like she almost like shakes the imposter syndrome out of you the way she reads it to you. It's kind of like
That's awesome.
not that it's preachy, but you just really
Mhm.
feel. Yeah, you feel her words. Yeah.
I'm gonna check that out then. I'm gonna do that.
Please do. Please do. Yeah, it has lots of good nuggets. All right, let's see what else. Okay, we talked about freelancing, your job. What about family life?
Yeah, I have a son. He's 3,
Mhm,
and he is super smart.
mhm,
I'm married. Like
mhm,
my husband's in the military.
mhm,
So we, on the weekends we do like fun stuff, and
mhm.
so I mean, yeah, just normal family stuff. Like he's
Yeah.
not in school. My mom watches him, and
Mhm.
yeah, he's a really bright, really intelligent kid. So
There
like
are
his
so many.
vocabulary is sorry.
Oh no, go ahead. Go
His
ahead.
vocabulary is out of this world. Like, I forgot what he said to me the other day, and I was like, "How do you even know that word? Where did you learn that from?"
Time to get him to
It's just
start blogging, I guess.
right? I'm like, he had his own little podcast. I listened to
Yeah.
it.
Oh my gosh. That blows my mind. There are so many people on Twitter that I think I know well, or I think I know who they are, and then I find out they're parents, or like
Yeah.
I didn't know you were a parent. Like I don't know if
I mean, I don't really. Yeah, I don't broadcast
yeah,
it.
yeah, but I just have so much more respect because I'm not a parent. And I'm like, how are these people juggling this? This is
No,
unreal.
no, yeah, and even some of my coworkers who have multiple kids that are like under
Mhm.
the age of 10, I'm like, wow, I have no idea how you guys are doing it. Like,
Yeah.
major props.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah,
Motherhood.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it. I'm like, gosh, I feel overwhelmed already. How is this going to work when I have a kid incorporated in the mix? I probably wouldn't be sitting here. I don't know. Like, where's your 3-year-old right now? you
Oh,
know?
he's with my mom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Perfect.
she watches
Perfect.
him throughout the week, and so
Yeah.
like a daycare.
That works out. Oh, Michelle says wine. That helps. That does help.
Definitely.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, what else? What else can we talk about? Anyone else have questions for Cody? I guess what are some of your I guess goals for the year? What are you
Yeah,
most
I like that.
excited about?
Um, so I guess recreationally, I want to get back into playing soccer. I've played soccer for over 10 years.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I tore both my ACLs, unfortunately. And so I stopped playing a few years ago.
Mhm.
And my sister went to school for college for soccer, and she also injured herself. But so we're both trying to like get back into soccer by the end of the year. So
Mhm.
I was gonna hire a personal trainer, but I decided not to because a lot of it was virtual, and I really like the hands-on approach.
Mhm.
So my goal is to play soccer again by the
Yeah.
end of this year. And right now I'm gonna be like strength training and the gym. I think I'm gonna get a gym membership again, and I just work out
Mhm.
at home. So that's my biggest goal, personally.
Yeah, I mean, with 2 ACL
Yeah.
surgeries, and yeah, I bet there's still a lot of just strength building and rehabilitation that you have to do, I would imagine, or just
Oh,
that
well, yeah,
hefty.
I mean, the first one was, like, 2013, which was a really
Mhm.
long time ago,
Mhm.
and the recent one was 2018? I can't
Mhm.
remember, 19? So,
Mhm.
a lot of it is just strength training, and
Yeah.
so I just need to get on board with that.
I assume you tore them both from playing soccer.
Mhm,
Yeah.
unfortunately. Yeah, that's just par for the course, really, with that sport.
Yeah.
Have you
Yeah.
played sports? Do you play sports?
Not in my adult life. I wish I did. I should get out there and do something. I'm kinda just always sedentary, but
I think almost all of us are.
right? I really actually love, flag football. I love
Oh
flag
my
football.
gosh, I love flag
Yeah.
football.
Yeah, I haven't done it since college, just playing, like, intramurals for fun, but yeah. So,
Yeah.
I guess that's a question I have. I don't really know a lot about just adult recreation like that. Like, I know
Yeah.
there's, like, pro soccer, but, like, is there just
Uh-huh.
like, a local league that you can join with other adults? Is it all women? Is it co-ed? How does that work?
So okay, so in our town, well, I think many towns, we have indoor soccer parks, and I would play there like weekly. I use the Meetup app to find like pickup games, and so I was
Mhm,
playing in Balboa Park for a little bit. It was co-ed, so I like co-ed because playing with guys, like they're just a little not rough, but like I don't want to say they're more skilled, but they are, a little more fast paced, and I
mhm.
like that kind of style. So
Yeah.
sometimes I'll do co-ed with the guys, or I'll just play on an all women's team, which I did indoor with a few years back. So just a
Mhm.
little mixture of both, but I'm not in a league or anything like that.
Yeah.
I definitely don't think I'm up to that level anymore. Maybe
I
in the
think you could
future.
be.
Yeah, maybe in the future.
I'm glad you brought up the Meetup app because I forget just how great that is.
Yeah,
That was one of the first things I discovered when I left the corporate world and I didn't know what to do with my life the next day. But I went on Meetup, and that following Monday after I left my job, I found a writers group that I ended up
awesome.
going to. And I remember it was just like so liberating to like read my writing to complete strangers, people I'd never met before. And like, it was like a
Yeah,
cool way to mark that new beginning and like step out of my comfort zone a little bit. Um, but I'm curious what's going on there in the age of COVID and stuff, if there's just more
right.
virtual events or whatnot, but I always forget about it. So I'm definitely gonna check it out.
Yeah, I think I looked on there for a Toastmasters event because I
Ah,
wanted to eventually tap into bettering my speaking skills. As you can see, I
mm.
stutter a lot,
No,
so
no,
I made her really
I'm a
nervous.
blubbering idiot. That's why I do these live. I'm just like, let's just get it over with. And
Yeah, yeah. So there's a few events happening virtually that I'm hoping I can attend in the next few
yeah,
months. I just haven't gotten around to it. So, yeah, it's a great app. There's tons of things on there, like for anybody, really.
yeah.
Gamer, if you like to garden, there's anything.
Yeah, I always forget about it. I bet there's some cool speaking opportunities in higher ed that you could maybe look into if you haven't already.
No, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not really
What?
comfortable yet in like speaking about that, but we'll see.
You have the experience. Don't let that imposter syndrome creep up.
That's true. True.
Jesse is wondering, what social platform do you think is going to have the biggest growth in 2021?
Ooh. Well, I'm not on TikTok, but I'm
Okay.
assuming that that is going to continue to rise in
Yeah.
followers. Um, honestly, I would say even Twitter might be
Mhm.
up there, might be moving up there.
Yeah.
A lot of people just are flocking to platforms where you can just engage quicker with people.
Mhm.
And Twitter is just one of those places that I think is a great place to do that. And I think a lot of people are realizing that. Even my sister, who's not on social media at all,
Mhm.
was asking me about Twitter and like how to get involved with that. So I would say TikTok, Twitter. Honestly, I don't know about Facebook and Instagram these days. I really don't. I
Yeah.
and those are like the main ones I'm on. Really, I'm not on any other social platform. So
Yeah. Hmm.
kind of hard to tell. I don't
I
know.
would I would agree. I mean, that's what I love about Twitter is that it's just so much easier to have conversations. Like
Yeah.
I tried to like start a conversation on Instagram in the comments and stuff. It's such a horrible
It's
experience.
so yeah, yeah, and so
Like,
and honestly, like, I one of the comments on one of my posts on Instagram, I forgot to respond to, like, I
mhm.
responded weeks later, it's
Yeah.
just bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm keeping my eye on Clubhouse just because that
Yes, and Clubhouse, yes, yeah.
yeah. Are you on it yet?
No, I have an Android.
Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
sore subject then.
I know, I'm like, yeah, I have an Android. So I
Let's
can get
see.
on.
Joseph says TikTok is video Twitter. Both are top of funnel. Interesting perspective. I never really
Oh,
thought of it that way.
I didn't
Hmm.
think about that either. That's cool, I like that.
Disposable, immediate, quick hits. I
Yeah,
can see that. But thankfully, I mean, I think the benefit of TikTok is you could have a TikTok that's months or weeks old and it
yeah,
still gets cycled through and served to people, where tweets, I feel like they die a little more quickly, unfortunately, which is
yeah,
depressing because you put so much thought into a tweet and then it's yesterday's news. So, so
right?
hopefully Instagram is like an appendage that I
I
don't
don't care about. Oh, I mean,
Mhm.
I like Instagram still. Even I'm not even really on Facebook that much. I
Mhm.
barely post on there, only
Yeah.
for groups. I'm really only there for groups, but
Mhm.
yeah, Instagram is, I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know if it's just who I'm following, but every time I'm on Instagram, I feel like I'm wasting time. Like, which is okay. Like, it's nice to have like that leisurely scroll every now and then, but compared to what I get out of Twitter, I get the best of both worlds. Like, I could learn something
Me
from a
too.
tweet or I could laugh from a tweet. So it gives me everything I need in one place.
Same.
Jesse said, "Yeah, I've been loving Twitter over the last year, and I'm still waiting to get on Clubhouse. I love TikTok, but not as a creator, as an observer, like much like YouTube."
Oh, I forgot about YouTube. Forgot
Oh
about
yeah,
YouTube.
right? Gosh,
Yeah,
video in
YouTube's great.
general.
Oh, sorry. I
Well,
keep
you go
cutting you.
ahead.
No, I definitely YouTube has been my jam this year or this past year too. Just learning things, watching all different types of videos, like
Yeah.
engaging. I've even started creating videos for YouTube, which I like
What?
never do. Very impromptu, like in my
Yeah.
car type of videos.
Mhm, mhm.
But yeah, YouTube, I love that
Do you
platform.
have like a niche on YouTube, or are you just kinda like go
No, it's like social media stuff, like
Yeah.
quick tidbit of social media. Like I talk about, not buying followers. Just
That's
what's on
me
my
too.
mind at the time,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
I feel like I get so crippled thinking about YouTube, and just because I would want
Mhm.
the video to be perfect. Like, not only do you have to film it perfectly, but then you
Right.
have to edit it and upload it and put transition, like, I feel like it has to be so perfect, and I know that's not the case, but I think that's why I
No,
gravitated
no.
toward live content, because 'cause I'm just like, "This is it. I don't have to spend any more time on this other than just hitting go live and end broadcast, and
Yeah.
that's it."
No, and I think sometimes the best videos are the ones that aren't so perfect, you know?
Yeah, not
There's a
so
few people I follow where like one guy just talks into the camera and he's like sitting
mm,
on his couch, and he
yeah,
gets a lot of views. So sometimes it's just that.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's all you need.
Yeah.
Joe Chuck says, "Instagram has no emotional connection for me."
Oh,
No.
that's interesting.
Yeah, I'm feeling that too.
No, and then those ads, like every 3 swipes or whatever, you see an
Mm,
ad. Yeah, I can
mhm.
definitely see why the connection's not there.
Yeah. Michelle says, "Yeah, I'm hesitating on doing public Instagram to promote my blog, but ugh, can't get into it." That's the other thing. I mean, they make it so, I mean, I know they do it intentionally, but it's not really a place for link sharing. So the more
No.
I'm seeing people blog and podcast and everything, like,
Mhm.
I don't know, I just don't have the patience for it. Jesse says, "I have a great fitness community on Instagram, so I love
Ooh,
that. It's a great
yes.
place to
Yeah.
find a visual community." Yeah, fitness especially, that seems like a great niche or way
Yes.
to build community. Joe Chuck, no, you do not. That's a lie.
I knew something was up.
Lies, lies. We
Oh, that's
both pay Christina. No, I'm just kidding.
right.
That's really how it works. All
That's
right.
hilarious.
Well, I usually keep these short,
Yeah.
half hour little meet and greets. I'm sure there will be more to come. We'll have to find a way to collaborate in the
Yes.
future somehow, but this was such a pleasure. I definitely learned some new things about you. And if I could ever
Thank you.
support, and like I said, everything's like a dumpster fire for me too. But if you ever need to bounce ideas about the freelancing thing or whatever, I'm always here. So I
Oh, thanks for having me. This was
Of
really fun.
course,
I
of
appreciate
course.
it.
Well, thank you guys for tuning in. Oh, and please tune in tomorrow for Pop Chat for the 1 year anniversary.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I'm excited. We'll see. We'll see. I still haven't written the question, so if you guys have any ideas, let me know. But I
Yeah.
assume we'll talk about the Bernie Sanders meme and
Oh, yes.
so. So, all right, Cody. Well, thank you, and
Thank
thank you guys
you.
for tuning in. This was a blast. Everyone have
Awesome.
a great rest of your day.
Bye.
Bye.